Continue our learning about first-hand versus second-hand accounts. Turn and talk. What is the difference between a first-hand and a second-hand account of an event? Which genre of text are we reading when we think about a first-hand and a second-hand account of event? Pause this video and talk to somebody near you about the answer. So hopefully you said when we're reading nonfiction, we talk about a first-hand account versus a second-hand account. Remember, a first-hand account is based on an author's personal experience and includes words like I, me, my, and we. A second-hand account of an event or a topic is based on an author's research, and that person did not experience the event. Clue words there might be she, he, they, or them. Learning target. I can name the point of view of a nonfiction text, first-hand or second-hand, and write about how the point of view affects how information is presented. To be successful, students will read 2 nonfiction texts about the same event and analyze how the points of view impact the text. This is from yesterday. So during your independent practice, you read from The Story of My Life by Helen Keller and from The Life of Helen Keller, thinking about which one might be first-hand or second-hand. Hopefully you realized that the first passage is the first-hand account because it's told from the perspective of Helen Keller, and it used pronouns like I and my and myself. The second-hand account was the second passage because the author used information about Helen Keller's life, and that author did not experience it themselves. Additionally, there were pronouns like she and her. So I'd say the first-hand account tells the reader more about Helen Keller's emotions because the person telling the story was Helen Keller, who experienced the emotions, and therefore she could describe them best. But a reader would benefit from reading both accounts because the first-hand account shows us what it would feel like to be Helen Keller in the garden without a sense of sight or sound, while the second-hand account can show us what it looked like when Helen was in the garden. Today, you will continue applying your knowledge of first-hand versus second-hand accounts. You will read 2 passages about the Great Depression. One is a first-hand account and one is a second-hand account. Read each passage, then answer the 4 following questions. Question 1, which passage is a first-hand account? How do you know? Question 2, which passage is a second-hand account and how do you know? Passage 3, how does the point of view impact how the information is being presented? And 4, how do you think a reader might benefit from reading both accounts? The 2 passages look like this, account 1 and account 2. If you feel like challenging yourself and doing more practice on first-hand versus second-hand accounts, you can use the same 4 questions and apply them to these 2 passages about the lunar landing. This is optional. The only mandatory work you have today is to answer these 4 questions about these 2 accounts about the Great Depression. Which one is first-hand, second-hand? And then these 4 questions, okay? You guys are gonna rock it. Have a great weekend.